Right. The years-long war between President Trump and New York Attorney General Letitia James shows no signs of slowing down whatsoever, as the president has enthusiastically endorsed James's Republican challenger, Sarita Komatoretti, to replace Letitia James as New York's next Attorney General.
Yeah, so he posted a lengthy social post on Friday, writing, "It is my great honor to endorse America First patriot Sarita Komatoretti, who is running to be the next Attorney General of the once wonderful state of New York. Her opponent, the totally corrupt, unlawful, and incompetent Letitia Peekaboo James, is considered by many to be the worst Attorney General in our country, a complete and total disaster." Well, the 41-year-old Komatoretti was nominated by Trump to U.S. District Court for the Eastern District of New York in 2020, as the president hopes she can be the one to finally oust one of his most bitter and longtime political rivals. In a post on X, Komatoretti wrote this. She said, "I was honored to be nominated to be a federal judge by the president in 2020. I'm honored to receive his endorsement today, and I'm working hard to win the support of all New Yorkers and defeat Letitia James this November. Please invest in our campaign, and let's win this race together."
All right, let's bring in our panel, break it all down. Brian Maloney is a GOP strategist. Hogan Gidley is a former Trump campaign national press secretary, senior advisor for the America First Policy Institute. Good morning, guys. I mean, I'm here in New York on the ground. I'm from Staten Island, one of the only places where we actually elect Republicans, because we have moderate Democrats who go for common sense candidates. But at the state level, Komatoretti is up against a serious fight. Hogan, how can she get that center-left vote to kind of come over to her?
So you're in New York, so this is all your fault, is what you're saying. This disaster is all your
Yeah, it's all my fault.
That's right. Listen, this is going to be a tough one. Obviously, Letitia James is someone who ran on and won on the entire platform of going after Donald Trump, trying to find a crime from day one. You don't want that in someone who is the Attorney General. You want someone to uphold the law and execute laws, and this is not what Letitia James has done. Corrupt doesn't even begin to scratch the surface. Donald Trump is absolutely right. She is a disaster. But there are a lot of people in New York who are just far left, and they elect a socialist mayor. I'm not sure that even though many around the state are Republican and do want common sense governance, I'm afraid a majority of them don't want that, regardless of the failures and, quite frankly, the violation of laws via Letitia James.
Yeah, Brian, you've got to get that message out to people, but you also have to take in mind, where the resources go. I mean, quite frank about it. I was out in Iowa, and the Attorney General there, Brenna Bird, she's facing a very rough race. And so is the race in New York State one that the Republicans think they can really win, or do they need to be focused elsewhere?
Well, this is really about motivations, and it's not about actually winning that race. It's about the fact that Letitia James makes a brilliant political target nationally. She drives fundraising for Republicans. So you want to keep James in the headlines. You want to keep her in the news. Now, elections in New York State aren't even on it. So Trump is realistic. He realizes that the likelihood of bringing James down is slim to none in the current system that New York State has. So, But this is about driving up the negatives, driving up the Democrat negatives for fundraising, for turnout, for all kinds of things. So, that's what's really going on here.
Yeah, I think, Edie, knowing kind of the inside baseball of some of New York politics, we need that, like Nassau County, Suffolk County, that GOP area to get a big turnout for Bruce Blakeman. That's going to get those 4 seats, maybe knock out Tom Suozzi. That's one of the reasons President Trump went with Bruce Blakeman over Stefanik, because they wanted to kind of make sure that scrabble of little counties and congressional seats would get a big turnout in Bruce. And I think Komatoretti here, they have this new thing in New York with matching funds. For every buck you raise from a New York State resident, you can get up to $10. So maybe painting her as a villain will up the fundraising, give the party a little more to work with the party building, to your point. Hogan, you think that's part of it, that we need all the turnout we can get?
Turnout anytime you can drive turnout in other areas to try and bolster a candidate that's running statewide, that's important. And so that's why candidates matter. The quality of those candidates is key, because if you can get excited in various congressional districts around the state, if you can have a statewide ticket that pushes people to the polls, this is always helpful. It's the rising tide lifts all boats theory. It's proven to be accurate. It works. That's how Donald Trump won. And quite frankly, that's why I think some of the Democrats statewide in New York, why they win, because they do drive turnout around the state. But Republicans have to do it smarter in a state like New York, because they just don't have the numbers there to overwhelm or swarm the sheer volume of Democrat votes.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Brian Maloney, Hogan Gidley, thank you both.
Thanks.